Okay, so in this video I'm just going to show a trap alarm that I've been using on traps to tell me when they've been triggered, so I have to go and check them. Anyway, it's really quite simple in construction, so it's all housed in a Pelican 1010 case, and inside I'll just connect the battery up, which is just a connector off a radio controlled car, which leads into a magnetic switch, which is used to turn on the SMS module, which when triggered sends a text message to my phone saying that the trap's been triggered. And it's triggered by a magnetic switch attached to the side. So there's a little screw screwed into the side which allows the magnet to latch on, which holds the switch open. So I'll just run through all the components. So the 12 volt battery is a bank of 10 AA batteries, and it's meant for a radio controlled car, so it was bought off eBay. For the battery connector I just needed the male side to the plug, so I just searched eBay for RC battery connector. A normally closed magnetic switch, so that means when the magnet's up next to it, it holds the connection open, so the battery's not draining any power when it's in the set state. A 16 by 5mm neodymium magnet, so this has a threaded bolt attached to it, so it was easy to connect the cord to it. A Send Technology Gsm Black Box. Now this is what costs most of the money. Everything else is quite cheap, where this cost about £80. It come from England, but it's the only thing that I could find that would send a SMS message as soon as the power was applied to it. Everything else needed to be powered up beforehand and then triggered, so using this saves a lot of power. You don't need to keep it on. It's just a simple on switch and sends a message. Check the description to see where that can be bought. Hoochie cord, which is the cord used by the Australian Army, but any string will do. A SIM card. This is a Telstra prepaid SIM card, and it cost me $30 for every 6 months, so it's on the long-term plan or whatever they call it, the one that has the longest expiry, and it all fits neatly in a Pelican 1010 case, so that means it's waterproof and dustproof. You could probably step on it and it wouldn't hurt it, though I don't think a cow stepping on it would do it any good, but that hasn't happened yet, thankfully. So as you can see, there's no real fabrication involved. You don't need to make anything. Just put a few components together that are readily bought. And as you can see, as soon as the magnet's disconnected, you see a LED flash, which means it's turning on and about to send the message. So now let's look at how it's connected to a trap and how it works. So just on a box trap, I just connect it to the handle. The 1010 case comes with a clip attached. Then tie the string on the magnet to the front of the cage on the door. So in theory you could leave that there for months because the battery's not draining any power. But as soon as the trap is triggered, it pulls the string, which removes the magnet from the case, which turns the device on, which will send the message. So after about 1 minute, the phone receives a message saying the trap is triggered, which is what I set that number for. It'll work just as well on Foothold Traps. So tie the string onto the chain of the trap, so when the animal pulls on the chain, it'll also pull on the string, which will turn the device on. And you'll get a message a minute later telling you that it's latched onto the leg of something. The module that's being used throws out quite a good signal, so So often when I use it, I'll just peg it down into a dirt hole and then cover the top with the grass layer that was cut off. Just be sure to remember that you've got it there. I've left it behind a few times. Always check it after you've set it, so set it, then pull the string, then wait for the signal, just to confirm that it's got signal and it's all going to work the way you plan it to. Okay, everything up to this point has been used and known to work well, but here's some alternatives. So this is a TK102 GPS tracker. When that's connected up to a 3.7 volt battery, you can attempt to ring that device and it'll send back a GPS coordinates of where it is. So if you were to use that in place of the Gsm Black Box that's in there now, you could monitor your trap by attempting to call it. And the same could be said for any mobile phone, but that little tracker is quite cheap and is capable of receiving messages stored in the tower and returning them, so when it does trigger, you get the message back. And lastly, the Gsm Black Box, because we're not using it for its actual purpose, what it was meant for, there is another trigger possible. So if these two little terminals were connected up there, you'd get another message back after it's been triggered. So you get the first turn on message, then another message after that's triggered. So that gives you another option. For example, if you connected the first string onto the jaws of the trap, it would send a message saying the jaws are shut. If you tied a second string from that connection to the chain, it'll say that the trap has caught something and it's pulled that trap. So it's not just a sprung trap, it's actually caught something. But I've never tried that. But that's what that function would do. Anyway, I know this video had no entertainment value, but I hope it may be useful to someone, because it has been useful to me.